Justin, this past weekend, it seemed like you got a little more into the game. Seems like you had your two of your better games. You talk a little bit about that and why you're playing a little better now.
It was a good week of practice. Preparing for the week, Coach Ladner, he wanted us to, just really get at it in practice, just compete and stuff. So preparing for those games, it was good with the week in practice that we had.
Justin, what have you guys seen from La Tech on film?
They got a couple of good bigs, some good guards who are really fast, but you know, we're preparing, to do what our coaches want us to do, and so we could, stop that, so we could get two good W's this weekend that we need.
You talked about their guards. Can you talk a little bit about, what they do well? What do their guards do well?
Watching film, they're really fast. So coming off the ball screens, just making sure we get up in them, so we can slow them down. They're really good in transition, it looks like. So just stopping ball, doing the stuff we're supposed to be doing, so we can slow them down in transition and, get the W.
What's the main thing you guys have been concentrating on this week going into this series?
I would say stopping their bigs. Their bigs are really good. They do a lot of high-low. So, just helping the bigs out, getting the help so we can slow them down, and that's about it. That's really the main thing, stopping their bigs.
Justin, what is the difference in the team when y'all win and as opposed to losing? Like, what have you seen the biggest difference is in those games?
I wouldn't say there's a difference. Everybody stays the same. Like we all stay together. Like there's no negative. Everybody stays together. We just, when we lose, we we got to get back at it the next week in practice and get ready to get a win. You know what I mean? Coming off 2 losses, we're practicing hard this week so we can bounce back.
Anything else for Justin?
Thanks, Justin.
Thanks, Justin.
Hey guys, nice seeing you guys.
Take care, man.
You too, buddy.
All right.
Good job, Justin. Thank you, Justin. All right,
Yeah. Coach, what's been what was the takeaway coming out of the UTSA series and what you taking on the court this week in terms of what y'all are concentrating on?
Yeah, of course, Glenn. We needed to split those, needed to win 1 or maybe 2. I tell you what I did like, though. That was of course, that's stating the obvious. I thought our guys played hard, and then after watching film, effort was good. I thought it was over there, but sometimes until you watch the film, but we guarded them pretty good. That's an explosive team, especially at home. This, of course, y'all know. I mean, we've known each other a long time, both of you, and we ain't into making excuses or not. But and there was some positive of this too. But not having Tay hurt us a little bit exponentially in that game. And what I mean by that, he's our best perimeter defender. And we're playing a team that is so guard oriented. I mean, two guys that do a majority of their scoring, and it just hurt us a little bit worse in that game maybe than it would somebody else if he wouldn't have been able to play. And of course we were hoping that he was going to be able to play. And Friday night, I thought our offensive flow was affected just a little bit because he's such a glue guy on the eye. He's not just a defensive player. I mean, he means a lot to us on offense as well. And I think it would have been a good – he particularly would have presented some matchup problems for them. The positive side of it is you were able to kind of get Justin Johnson, get himself kind of going again. He got more minutes, of course, than he normally did, and I thought especially in the second game handled himself well. Of course, got to play a good bit more. So he maybe he'll start beginning being the player that we need him to be and we've expected him to be. But some guys, it just takes a little bit longer than others, and I was talking about Justin, and you have to remind everybody too that he missed, 5 to 6 critical weeks back in the fall, right before the season started with a meniscus surgery. So anyway, he's just a little bit behind, and but I thought our spirit was good. It's been good this week. They're they don't have their dauber down and shouldn't. We lost 2 critical games, but all of them are big. And there's of course, Tech is a really good team, one of the best teams in the league, and we need to try to figure out a way to be successful, at least in one of them.
Coach, I was looking at the stats, and 3-point shooting, you got your percentage is right around 40, but you're only giving up, I think it's like 31%, but it's the difference in the number of baskets.
Yes.
Are you worried about that in any way? Does that bother you?
You're talking about the volume of them?
Yes, sir.
Is that what you're talking
yes,
about?
Sir.
Yeah. Of course, we've got some guys that can really shoot the basketball. And I think we have a good balance, and I think our balance gets a little better and a little better every game. And teams like let's say for instance Drain, they're sitting on him a lot, and it's hard for him to get as many attempts. Of course, Jerron can shoot the basketball, Artur can shoot the basketball, Tay can shoot the basketball. But the volume of the 3, we're doing a good job defending it. But what you're saying is they're making a good portion more than we are, and that extra point is adding up in there. And but yeah, we're encouraging our guys, especially we had a team meeting in San Antonio, not a ripping type team meeting. You don't always have a negative team meeting. It was hey, if you're open and it's your shot, shoot the basketball. So we want to make sure our guys are playing with a lot of confidence, that coach has enough confidence in them shooting. But it's certainly something that we've addressed verbally with them. And I just don't want them passing up. If those are open shots, and again, especially those guys I just talked about, they need to shoot it. And
Coach,
you hit a few of them, it's going to open up the inside game even more, by the way, as y'all know.
Right. Coach, we talked to Justin before you came on, and kind of asked him about La Tech, and he stressed you guys are really concentrating on what they do in the post. Can you speak to that a little bit more about?
Yeah, they've got 3 really good players inside in the post. Lofton, who's been he's going to be the biggest, and I don't mean the tallest. I mean he's going to be the biggest guy, maybe in Division I. I mean he is huge. I watched earlier in the year. I watched Louisiana Tech play LSU when we didn't have a game. I think we were maybe in the holiday. I can't remember exactly when it was, but I watched them play LSU on TV, and of course interested because of who they were. And I mean, the LSU guys were bouncing off him. I mean, he had an incredible game. He really got my attention, and later on that week named Freshman of the Week. I think he's been 3 or 4 times. Kind of like Jerron. He and Jerron seem to kind of be going back and forth, but he is a load. Big kid Gordon's a load in there. Crawford, 3 really, really good players. Crawford is the more versatile of the guys. He'll step out and shoot the 3. Big, strong guy. Had a big game against us last year. And then, of course, Gordon, big body, 6'9", 6'10" kid, big, strong, look like a NFL tight end. And Lofton looks like an NFL tackle. And so, our guys we're kind of light in the butt, Glenn. It worries me a little bit. So we're going to have to be the best way to keep people from throwing the basketball in the post is ball pressure. You got to get up there and make them catch the ball for the perimeter people that are the post feeders, or make them catch it farther out on the floor. Pressure them so they can't just catch it and look down inside. Easy passes, because once they get it down in there, they're hard to stop. And then try to use our advantage, which will be running. Have our guys beat those guys. There's going to be a great emphasis on us of beating those guys to the other end, and our guards being able to recognize when our guard's open, and let's try to beat them at our game and not necessarily play their game. And our game, of course, it would be athleticism and running, whereas their game's going to be not that they're not athletic, but they're they're just so big and strong. It creates a problem for us, but we're strategizing to do the best that we can to minimize that.
You talked a little bit about Johnson. Can you speak to him about in that game? It seemed like that his offense finally come alive a little bit. Can you talk to him? Can you talk about what he's going to bring to the team when he finally gets going and shows you what he's
you know, of course, Justin, as everybody understands his talent level and what we need him and expect him to be. A lot of junior college guys, Heath, have a adjustment period. He's had an adjustment period, but again, we have to also keep in mind, and I say his defense, nobody's attacking him, but keep in mind that he missed so much of the fall where things were being installed, and of course, it's all new to him. He missed with his meniscus surgery, like we talked about a few minutes ago. But you know, he's beginning to mature. Understand that the effort that's required to play at this level every day. It's not junior college basketball, and we have some great junior college programs, but there's a big adjustment to come into Division I. And if you don't do that, somebody else is going to go grab those minutes. It's not punishment. He's a great kid, taking care of his business academically, all those type things. But he's got to come and compete every day. Whereas he's been so talented, I think. In probably back to high school, but in junior college, where some days maybe you can go and take a day or so off. Well, you can't do that at this level, and for us to be successful. And anyway, but I'm proud of him for beginning to understand that. And I like you, it's very obvious. Y'all see what we do, but very obvious. You know, he began to play, I thought, with more and more confidence for the first time out there the other day. I thought he did a good job, and certainly he's earned some more playing time. You know, if we can get him going, to give us some life off the bench, or even to maybe eventually start, that would be up to him. He started the first game of the year. You know, that would certainly give us some bolster our offense and our team down the stretch here these last 5 weeks.
Coach, is Mormon still sidelined?
Nope. I'm glad you brought him up. He's back. Has looked good the last couple of days. Finally, I'm not going to say 100%. Certainly, his conditioning having to be out, but he's back practicing as well. Cleared. Going to be, you know, he's going to have to play a role in this series this week because of what we just talked about with their big bodies. He is the one guy that we have that's able to play with, you know, with good size that could help counter those guys. So he could play a very significant role this weekend.
You talked about how important he was. Oh, I'm sorry, Coach. Go ahead.
No, go ahead. No, all I was going to say, Heath and Glenn, was, you know, we're probably about as healthy as we've been in a while.